Yeah, I guess we should jump right in, Zach. Do you want to get started and show the people where this all began? Who started all this?
Yeah, let's sit down. Gather ye all for a fine tale we tell. For Anna and the Young Turks have fallen under the capitalist spell. For Gavin, he tweeted this one little clip, and then all their masks, they began to slip. So Gavin says just something that Jake should have been proud to say. I'm always proud to double down on anything I say on this show for the most part. Certainly if I just said it yesterday, I'll double, triple, quadruple down. I don't give a fuck. I only say what I mean, right? Cenk Uygur compared Sam Seder to grifters like Dave Rubin and Jimmy Dore. Then says Seder and Emma Vigeland will support a corporatist pick like Pete Buttigieg in the next Democratic primary. Cenk proudly and vocally supported billionaire real estate tycoon Rick Caruso in the Los Angeles mayoral race.
And as Zach pointed out earlier this afternoon, Josh Shapiro for Kamala's running mate.
Yep.
Not that, like in August, not that long ago, he wrote an article about it in Newsweek. But Zach, do you want to refresh everyone's memory and play this clip real quick?
I don't believe you. Cenk would never say that. He would never take a shot at Sam and Emma. They're crazy.
So finally,
are on our team. Why would they ever take a shot at Sam Seder or Emma Vigeland? Wholesome folks over at the Majority Report.
After somebody does it 1,000 times, we're like, all right, fuck it. Here's who's doing it, and them, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh no, I can't believe you're saying that about poor Jimmy Dore. I can't believe you're saying that about poor Dave Rubin. I can't believe you're saying that about poor Sam Seder. I know. Poor Sam. Poor Sam. The other. Okay. So, anyways, yeah.
And again,
so look,
it's crazy to say that after laundering the reputations of Glenn Beck, Patrick Bet-David, Tim Pool, all within the span of
trigonometry,
72 hours. Like, I'm not even kidding you guys. They went on it was like an orgy of grifters. I'm not even kidding. They all got together and were just sucking and fucking. It was insane. Patrick Bet-David, Tim Pool, Cenk Uygur, Annika. It was insane, guys. This has been the last week. And they want to sit here and say that Sam Seder is the next Jimmy Dore. Sam Seder is the next Dave Rubin for offering some mild criticism for it just remarking upon what is obviously going down. It's outrageous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it just shows that they're circling the drain. This is after Cenk, if people missed it, called Sam Seder a low rent grifter on his Cenk's Giving podcast out of nowhere. He just had a bone to pick with Sam Seder, probably because Sam Seder's actually principled and able to sustain his media operation. But listen, you guys think we're loyal to Sam. Wait till you hear from his actual staff, the people who work for him. Because unlike Cenk Uygur, the people who work for Sam Seder will go to the fucking mats for the guy because he doesn't treat him like shit. Okay, let's hear from Matt Leck, longtime employee of Sam Seder and the Majority Report. He says, hell yeah, let's get into it. How much of TYT's membership dues have gone towards returning this guy's investment instead of the TYT employees who have better politics than the main host? And this is, of course, Jeffrey Katzenberg's $20 million investment. This is the billionaire founder of DreamWorks Animation Studios. Guys, animation studio executives, they're up here on the list of people who exploit and undermine actual creative folks. Okay, if you are profiting a fuckload off of animations and you're an executive and you didn't have a goddamn thing to do with the creative project, you are one of the most exploitative leeches, because the people who actually did do the creative work, the heavy lifting, the legwork to make that vision a reality, those people are often the most exploited in all of Hollywood.
Yep. 100%. And as you guys know, longtime viewers know, we've consistently kind of referred to this moment, the Jeffrey Katzenberg investment, as the real beginning of the end for the Young Turks, because TYT kind of held it down as a genuine sort of online home of progressives, in my opinion, up until around the time that Bernie Sanders lost in 2016, when he went down and Hillary Clinton won the nomination. They made a very noticeable pivot, and that pivot led them ultimately to where they are today. But it started with all that Russiagate hysteria. They really leaned into being like MSNBC light. Cenk was going full Rachel Maddow every single night. Tick, 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 tick. It's only a matter of time until Trump gets taken down, yada, yada, yada. And of course, that all came right after that Katzenberg investment. Someone in chat pointed out, who, by the way, was a Clinton donor. Cenk likes to wag his finger now at people like Sam and Emma for doing propaganda for the Democratic Party, but obviously he was right there to support Hillary Clinton after Bernie Sanders was vanquished. That being said, the Katzenberg investment was really the beginning of the end for the Young Turks, not just because of the fact that Katzenberg is an anti-homeless activist, billionaire activist, whatever you want to call him, who clearly decided to take over TYT and use it as a vessel for said cause successfully, by the way.
That's an oligarch, really.
Yeah, 100%. But also because after they took that investment money, you guys might have noticed a palpable shift as far as the vibe of TYT. The show, frankly, became more sanitized. They stopped cursing live on air. A lot of the personality that defined the earlier golden era of the Young Turks really evaporated, in my opinion, right after that investment money. And it was tragic to me as a viewer and as a TYT fan at the time, because obviously they railed against big money and the corrupting influences of corporate money, specifically in politics. And here their show is clearly corrupted, right? Increasingly so. Sanitized, defanged, simplified, whatever you want to call it, in this attempt to go mainstream, right? YouTube TV had just launched. Cenk really bet on that, hence the end of the, cursing on air and the sanitization of the personality. Yeah, it all evaporated, like I said. So it's important that Matt brings that up. If you want to throw that tweet up on screen one more time, because it's such a great point. And as he says, what was his tweet? He says, how much of TYT's membership dues have gone towards returning this guy's investment instead of the TYT employees who have much better politics and the TYT employees who were exploited, some of which we've had on the show, like Hank, who's a whistleblower, used to work at TYT. Many people, the people that tried to form the union that Cenk attempted to bust, luckily they succeeded in spite of him, but still. And speaking of corruption, I think it's honestly appropriate to refresh people's memory as well about another clip from earlier today in the show that we played where Cenk admits something pretty crazy. Let's quickly watch this before we get into the main beef, because guys, this is just absolutely insane. And it's very Tim Pool-esque, as I mentioned earlier today on the show.
Thoughts and prayers.
Look, the last thing is about Peter Thiel. So apparently he put money into Polymarket, right? So that people are holding that against us. Now, I didn't know that when we did the deal, but doesn't matter. I'm going to say something revolutionary. No, it doesn't matter. Why? Okay, Peter Thiel also financed PayPal. Did anybody ever use PayPal? If you did, guilty. Okay, hold on. Okay, Peter Thiel also financed Facebook. Did anybody ever use Facebook? I know Emma did, because she used to make videos for us on Facebook. Emma, I can't believe you work with Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel funded organization Facebook. Hey, give me all that money back from all of your videos.
So again, I just wanted to refresh your guys' memory, because we are about to take a look at what Emma said on Twitter. She decided to weigh in, and frankly, how could she not at this point? I mean, TYT went on like a 6-7 minute long rant last night, just out of nowhere, completely smearing her, lying, taking things out of context, doing exactly what they accuse their left-wing critics like us of doing to them, as I said. Do you want to take a look, Zach,
Absolutely.
at what Emma weighed in with?
For sure. And first off, she clarifies that Cenk is lying through his fucking teeth here. She says, posting on Facebook, which the company that employed me required me to do. That means what he's saying is he told her to post on Facebook, and now he's trying to use it as a lazy gotcha without talking about, of course, he required her to use their social media. That's pretty par for the course, especially in 2016, 2017, when she would have worked at the Young Turks. And she adds, still no response to Sam Seder's offer to come on for a conversation. But that is not all from Miss Emma Vigeland. She adds, she kind of piggybacks onto Matt Leck's point and says, to be fair, some of that money didn't go to paying back Jeffrey Katzenberg. It didn't go into Brianna Wu's pocket. Some of it also had to go into hiring a union-busting law firm, which if you're familiar with the Vanguard, you know we've covered like flies on shit, because it absolutely spurned our good pal, good friend of the show, Hank Thompson. Yep. And he was thrown under the bus, maligned, and smeared as a result of trying to speak up to Cenk, the host of a progressive, supposedly, news network.
Yep. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, it's a great point from Emma, and as I said earlier, if you guys watch that documentary from Hank, what's it called again, Zach?
Tell the truth, Cenk.
Tell the truth, Cenk. Yeah, check it out, guys. Goes in depth on how absolutely, almost without a doubt, TYT donation money, hard-earned money from people that were supposedly supporting a left-wing cause, it went to hire a union-busting firm to attempt to squash an actual worker movement within this progressive company, the supposedly progressive company. I mean, you could not create a more, satirical, whatever you want to call it. You could not create a parody that is this humiliating for Cenk Uygur.
Oh, no, absolutely not. And as Hank points out, you can literally search on the NLRB website for the Young Turks to see the evidence of their labor violations. Like, it's kind of like denying Scientologists are just an exploitative cult, right? It's like, no, you can Google it. You can find out about the guy that invented it, right? You can't deny with the reality. Cenk is at the point where he is doing just like straight up denial of reality. And let's go in even deeper because Karen Kasparian coming out the woodwork, flexing her muscles before the TYT live show. She says yet another sign of her pathetic dishonesty. Emma was employed by TYT when the company announced recognition of the union. Yeah, that doesn't mean that you guys didn't try and undermine and stop it. It succeeded in spite of you, not because of you. Does Starbucks deserve credibility? And Starbucks is an anti-union. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
There's unionized Starbucks all over the country. Yeah, because they fought and overcame your stupid managerial asses, not because you aided and assisted in their, progressive and just regular good person right to organize.
Yeah.
And American right.
Especially when she advocates that we all shut up and take when someone assaults us on public transportation. Not wanting to get punched in the face is a bougie concern after all. I mean, this is just a mishmash of bullshit, of stupid talking points and smears, dishonest garbage from Anna Kasparian. Who knows what she's doing? She's pandering to people like Tim Pool and idiots in his audience that hate Emma Vigeland, that want to, caricature her and her opinions. But that's absolutely crazy. Emma Vigeland has never once said that it's a bougie concern to care about being a victim of crime. That's totally ridiculous. And to take her comments out of context when she shared her own experience on the subway is absolutely disgusting. Emma has a right to express however she feels about her response to that situation. And it's particularly disgusting, Zach, because Anna Kasparian, she'll go on all these right-wing shows, and time after time, she smears the left over and over again, saying that when she shared a vulnerable, sensitive experience, something traumatic that happened to her, she says that people on the left mocked her, that they disrespected her, that they denied what had happened to her, that they treated her like shit, that they didn't believe her. But Emma Vigeland also shared a vulnerable, sensitive experience. She also talked about how she was a victim of something. And what's Anna Kasparian doing? What's Anna Kasparian? She said it was stupid. She said what Emma Vigeland said is stupid. There, I said it. That's what she said last night on the Young Turks. I mean, how disgusting is that?
Yeah, it's 100%. We've talked about how the home of progressives at TYT is a glass house, and the only thing they have is stones. And they sure throw a lot of them. Emma comes back in. She's done fucking around. You know what? It's over. Gloves are coming off, and Emma has every right to defend herself against Anna's hysterics. She says, unclear what this means. I'm a member of a union. If that's a shot at my upbringing, I'll let my work speak for itself. The TYT NLRB complaint is public. I've tried to keep our differences professional. I loved you as a friend at one point. I'm sorry you've gone down this road. That's so nice. That what else are you supposed to say? I loved you as a friend at one point. Jesus Christ, it's kind of like Obi-Wan and Anakin at the end of Star Wars 3. It's like, you were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm picturing. It's surrounded by lava. Emma pleading with Anna Kasparian. Please don't go, Karen. Please, no, not the NIMBYs.
Yeah.
And this is what it comes down to, right? I think Anna is trying to point out the fact that maybe Emma grew up affluent. I don't give a how you grew up if your politics are legit, but just don't cosplay as something you're not. Like, we were talking about how laughable it is for Cenk and Anna to talk about how they're the real working class when they're absolutely upper crust. They were born upper crust. They're going to die upper crust, right? We are real working class people. I don't give a fuck if Anna, or excuse me, if Anna or Emma for that matter. I keep saying Anna when I mean Emma. Jesus Christ. I don't care where you come from or what kind of upbringing you have, as long as you're actually advocating on behalf of the people who you claim to be advocating on behalf of. We would have never really batted an eye or paid too much attention to Anna Kasparian in the same way that we don't pay attention to tons of conservative hosts, because we just don't really care about debunking them. She calls herself a progressive and espouses conservative politics, and that's why we have to debunk it and call it out, because it's a misrepresentation of our leftist politics, and they are the largest progressive news network. So when they go out and advertise that, it misleads people.
Yep, 100%. And again, this is just a matter of fact what Emma Vigeland is saying. For Anna to act like this is some sort of a smear or some sort of a lie. Cenk and Anna both do this. They both act like the union busting charge is nothing more than a smear. And then, oh no, what are you talking about? We had negotiations. Bullshit. The truth is out there. We've talked about it on the show multiple times. And as Emma Vigeland says, the NLRB complaint is public. There literally had to be an NLRB complaint, guys. That's how bad it was. This is vicious union busting, disgusting anti-work stuff that we're talking about. And honestly, it's one of the main reasons why Zach and I were able to predict exactly what Cenk and Anna are doing right now, because we were aware of it. We understood this. One of the first things we talked about on the show was the union busting, and we went in depth with a couple different guests talking about this episode. So yeah, it didn't exactly shock us to see when the other dominoes began to fall, right? They're an anti-worker company. Cenk is a capitalist through and through.
100%. And Anna just doubling down. No, you didn't try to keep shit professional. You've been mocking me specifically and running your mouth for a year. Your regression into cheering on crime, in addition to your identitarian streak, is grotesque. Cheering on crime? Nobody cheers on crime. Thank you, High Progressive. Shout out to High Progressive. No one is cheering on crime, dumbass. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Oh
ridiculous. Okay, maybe the only crime that has been cheered on is the assassination of the CEO. And honestly, I'm never going to tone police that. You're never going to see me tone policing that. But yeah, absolutely ridiculous to act like the left cheers on crime when it comes to normal people. Are you kidding me? What a grotesque straw man. That's all they have. It's completely ridiculous. It's like, how do you even engage with this on an intellectual level when all it is straw man after straw man? It's ridiculous. It's comical.